Welcome back to day two. Great to have you with us today. We've got a lot of exciting conversations going on today, some real interesting points. Today is all around cross-industry. So yesterday we looked at the financial services and insurance sector, looked at some really important topics of women and AI, looked at how AI and how we can turn data into investments into revenue. We got some opening statements of what we can expect, and hopefully we're living up to that. And we're also looking at what we need to do with AI in the banking sector. So today, to kick us off, we've got a great opening remarks and statements by Patrice Neff, and then I'll be back with you to introduce speakers to our next keynotes and panels for today. Patrice, it's great to be here with you. Please, sir, take it away. Excited to hear from you.
Welcome to day two of Squiro's 2021 AI Week. I'm really excited that you've decided to join us today. Some of you for the second time, others for the first time today. So I'd like to have a brief review of all the great presentations, panels that we saw yesterday. Yesterday, most of you remember, was under the banner of financial services. So we focused on the industry of financial services, banking, insurance, and the talks reflected that as well. We first had Moody's Analytics with Sander and our own Moritz Müller talking about data spottification, or essentially how some of our clients have taken Squiro, the insight engine of Squiro, to take massive amounts of data and the investment that's behind that and start to extract insights from that data. So essentially to derive value and turn that data into revenue. We have had a session with Standard Chartered, with Ramnath, and our own Tony Birrer about how they have taken Squiro's Insight Engine to improve the customer service workflow and to essentially insert AI into that whole space of customer service, support tickets, and all of that. We had a really exciting panel about visionary women in artificial intelligence, moderated by Lauren from Squiro. We've then attended by ING's Annerie and Bank of England's Helen. And finally, we had Armin and Lauren again walking us through the no-code elements and how we've used that or implemented that at Squiro in the AI Studio. But Armin, with his background, also was able to take that a bit wider and show how this applies in other areas as well. So overall, it was a really interesting day yesterday. I learned a lot from these various sessions, and I'm sure you did too. Just in case you missed it yesterday, don't worry. We'll be sending all of you links to the recording so that you can get access to these insights also at a later stage. But now let's turn the page. We're on day two of our AI week. The topic today is cross-industry. So while yesterday we looked at banking, financial services, today we want to look at other industries as well. At Squiro, that for us often means pharma or manufacturing, and that's also what we'll be seeing some of today. But of course, the whole AI evolution can also be applied in lots of other areas, and I'm sure whichever industry you're joining us from today, there will be a lot for you to take away. First, just a brief outlook on why are we solving the challenges that we're working on. And here is the money quote that I took from a report by Forrester. I absolutely love this quote. And that's indeed one challenge that we see with all of our clients, that a lot of data has been created, is being created day in, day out, is even being acquired. Maybe less so in the industries we're looking at today than in financial services, but still there are lots of third-party premium data sources that are being consumed. What is lacking is the ability to take this data and extracting these insights. And that is exactly what we are going to focus on today, what we at Squirrel focus on day in, day out for all of our clients. And the reason we do this are these numbers that we've taken from IDC, from Gartner, from Forrester, and they talk about what it means to be an insight-driven company, or rather the value, the benefits it brings. We see a massive difference in terms of annual revenue increases. We see that insight-driven companies are able to acquire customers at a significantly higher rate, that they're much more likely to be profitable across the board, and that also their investments tend to have a much higher return on investment, specifically also in the context of what they do with the data, how they apply that to customers. Hence, what we focus on is how can we help you to become such an insight-driven or an AI-driven business. We do that represented with this pyramid that we see here on the screen, where often the first challenge is to take this deluge of data that you're feasting on and even just make it searchable. Give access to that data to everybody at your organization, what sometimes gets called data democratization. So the ability to have a cognitive search layer on top of this data. Once you've achieved that, you can easily go in and create what we call insight cockpits. So you can then, for example, take this data and model a client 360-degree view, or you can take this and look at the output or the relevant data for one specific innovation, for a specific research topic that your firm is working on. This can then be leveraged to create decision intelligence. In a client context, that can mean the ability to create leads by analyzing this data, by preempting a few decisions and creating the right triggers. In other contexts, this can be content recommendations to say, based on certain reading patterns, these might be the next research item, the next patent, or the next report that you should be looking at. And then the final state of this pyramid is AI-driven recommendations. Can you go as far as automating certain patterns or create certain recommendations that can be brought right at the center of attention, that can be brought, for example, in front of a salesperson or a research scientist? Now, how some of those elements in the pyramid can be applied will be shown in some of the sessions today. We will first have Zero from Armorcell, a leading manufacturing company, joining us to show the path from a proof of concept to ultimate AI success. We'll have our own CEO and my co-founder Dorian talking about how AI can be scaled and how you can reach and scale these decision intelligence, or this ability to actually automate some of the decisions in your organization. We'll have another exciting panel, again moderated by Lauren, where we are joined by a few people from the education sector about the skill gap that we have in the context of AI, especially in technology, and how this can be addressed using new and changed and different learning approaches. Then after a few short closing statements, for some of us or some of you, we will have the first masterclasses. If you haven't signed up yet for any masterclass, then it's not too late. You can still join them on our website. If you go to the AI Week 2021 website, you will see the ability to sign up for these masterclasses, where we address both in the sector of business as well as IT in a very personalized format, the ability to upskill yourself and to learn about how to apply this to your business. And with that, it's already time now to start another great day of the AI Week 2021. We will have the first presentation now with Zero from Armorcell, who will be showing us how to go from a POC, proof of concept, to success. I hope you all enjoy the program that we have today and that you can take away a lot for your own personal work and for your daily life.